Yeah, I'm just gonna start the video by putting my hand up and saying that I overreacted like crazy to start the season, but the Mets win 6-1 over the Kansas City Royals in game 13 of the regular season, and they bent them over. Like, there's no way around it. This team right now is starting to get a lot of the vibes back that we saw in 2022, and more of the good vibes versus what we saw at the end of that season where they looked lifeless and they looked like they couldn't hit the damn baseball. Now they're looking like that team. Listen, there's one thing that I'm going to have a small complaint about because of the fact that it's got to be addressed, and we'll talk about, though. Before I jump into everything, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload go live. And my small complaint, because I'm going to get it out of the way because the rest of this, I promise you, all be good, is that I do want Starling Marte out of the 2-hole. And I know that people are going to point to the fact that he's had a solid start to the season. Look at his batting average. Well, to that I say, look at his OPS. And I just am not a fan. And it's not just because he went 0 for 4. I was never really on board with it, but it worked out for a couple games here and there. I just would rather see them break it up. But listen, again, if they're going to win more games than lose with it being this way, I am fine with it being this way, because at the end of the day, whatever wins them the games wins them the games. But I will say that if Marte underachieves a little more down the road here, he's going to have to get moved out of that spot, plain and simple. But again, if they're going to win games, they're going to win games. So it's a small complaint, but not even a full complaint here because of the fact that there's really not a lot to complain about. Like I said during the podcast episode, if you didn't check it out, that I thought the Mets were going to take one of two. Or 1 out of 3 in this series and go 500 these next 6 games. And right now, they're off to a good start to the point where I'm starting to feel confident in this group all of a sudden. And that's something that I did not envision coming to fruition before, which it did before the season. And then the beginning of the season, I had the knee-jerk overreaction. And now I'm starting to regain my trust in this team. I'm obviously not all the way there yet because of the fact that they had a losing stretch, they had a winning stretch. At some point, we're going to find out what the mean is with this group, whether it's a 500 ball club, whether it's a team that is going to actually sneak into the wild card, or it's going to be a team that is complete and utter dog shit, and this is just a flash in the pan hot stretch here. But obviously, I'm hoping for this to be a thing that continues on, which there are signs to point that this could continue. The only thing that I do question, of course, is Jeff McNeil's success as of lately, because he went 3 for 4 today and had some very clutch hits. And what did I say? What did I say on the podcast episode? That he's been doing it in the clutch. Tonight, you saw him go 3 for 4, which was also the consistency part that I was questioning with Jeff McNeil's game. And listen, if he heats up, that's going to change things, but I do have to question, I think it's fair to question, what Jeff McNeil are we going to be talking about in 2-3 weeks from now even, because that could change the whole conversation of this team. Brett Baty off to a very hot start. I really think that that's going to continue. You could tell the way that he's playing the damn game, he is balling out. He is just balling out, and he is happy to be on the damn field. You look at him celebrating at the end, him and Pete. You get the 2 RBIs there. When he gets the second, the little celly he's doing at second base as well. It's just beautiful to watch Brett Baty start to turn into the baseball player that we all thought he would be and that he could be. We're seeing it come to fruition before our eyes, and he's just doing such a good job. You have Pete Alonso as well, which he came up big today with the home run, of course, and just in general, a really good game going 2 for 4. Lindor, because we have to talk about Lindor, who did get the standing ovation, which I expected to happen, and I'm honestly fine with it, that it continued throughout the entire night. He had an opposite field hit and a walk. Obviously, he would have wanted a little bit better, maybe, which when he first got the standing ovation, he swung first pitch from the left side, and it looked like he was about to crush a moonshot there, which that would have been so poetic if he did that after the standing ovation. But still, a nice little opposite field hit from the left side. And I hate that we're going down this road because, listen, I'm somebody that usually I don't usually coddle players, especially the superstars of the team, because I demand greatness, and I demand my bar is high for you. I demand you to be great night in and night out with star players and high paid players. But I am going to be at the point where I'm going to just take this baby steps with Lindor until there's a reason for me to be even more concerned. And that's what I was saying on the podcast too, that I am concerned, but I'm at the point where we gotta just give him the baby steps. Like, what else can we do? There's really not much we could do. He had a nice play at shortstop regardless. Listen, we just have to accept it. We have to accept it, and we have to just ride it for what it is. Pause. But that's just how I feel about Lindor. And then Alvarez, he had another good game. Tyrone Taylor getting a hit too. Stewart too, getting a hit, which is just crazy looking at his OPS, seeing it. But yeah, you look at just the way that this game went inning by inning. Luis Severino, by the way, how about him just cruising through this outing? I don't like that he gave up 4 walks. I don't like that, especially the Adam Frazier at bat. That really killed what could have been a 6-inning outing. And that's the only gripe that I will have with Severino right now, is that he's not giving length. But I expect that to come at some point. He was so good, and the way that he was just celebrating on the damn mound is something that I was just picturing him doing in a Mets I almost said sweater like it's talking, a Mets jersey with the beard, because, you know, he looks better with the beard, let's be honest here. But I love what they got from Luis Severino in this outing. I gotta say, and I think that this is just what the Luis Severino experiment's going to be. There are times where he's going to just aggravate us and drive us up the damn walls, and then there are times he's going to look like an ace, and we're like, how the hell is he either an ace, or we're just throwing stuff at the TV because he's walking the ballpark, or he's letting up meatballs and getting killed out there. Like, I feel like there's just not going to be an in-between. But then you look at his ERA by the end of things, and it's going to be in the middle, and it's going to be like, all right, well, interesting, considering how bipolar it feels. But loved what they got from Severino, and I said it would be huge to get him his first Mets win today. They did that. You look at the way the bullpen contributed. I like what the bullpen gave today as well. Jake Diekman, a guy that's been struggling a bit, he gave a very solid, 2/3 of an inning, I should say, because he did, of course, allow a hit there. The Pasquantino came out, and then Reed Garrett. This guy is a dog. I cannot believe I'm saying this about Reed Garrett, considering how much I had no faith in the guy last year, and I didn't think anything of him, and I thought maybe he'd be DFA'd. And I said to send him down during that stretch where they needed arms. Now you see why, because they may have had to manipulate the roster, and maybe he wouldn't have been back up here. He is just killing it out there, and I don't know how much more sustainable this is. I don't know if this is the Phil Bickford insanity run type. There's more to back up that this is sustainable, given the spin rate on his pitches and all that stuff, the way that he's just throwing the damn baseball. But he's been a dog early on for his team. Ottavino, another just easy outing for him, like 1, 2, 3 inning there for him, which is nice to see. And then Jorge Lopez, outside of the single, easy inning for him, which was nice because obviously it was shaky last time he went out there. But yeah, just a very good baseball game for the Mets. Very good baseball game. And I, of course, did get worried when Salvi got that home run in the second inning. And I was like, this feels like a game that's just not going to go the Mets' way already. Like, it just felt that way. But then you had the clutch hitting from Brandon Nimmo with the double. You had the clutch hitting from Jeff McNeil. DJ Stewart getting a clutch hit yet again. And then the Brett Beatty double had me all juiced up, fired up, and I was just in love with it. By the way, another underrated fact, though, an underrated thing that happened with the Brandon Nimmo single before that, Harrison Bader steals it back. Can you believe the Mets are aggressive on the base path? I couldn't believe it. And that's something else that needs to continue, is the aggression on the bases with stealing, and that's going to go a long way. Loved seeing Harrison Bader steal a bag there. That aggression led to a run right there, and we're talking about a 6-1 win versus a 5-1 win because of the aggression there, which maybe you could argue he would have scored from first regardless, but you never know there. And then, of course, though, like I said, you had the Beatty double, the Pete home run late in the game to really just put this game to bed, and you just knew that the Mets were in the driver's seat. 14 hits for them, only allowed 3 hits tonight, and it's not like those were really even big hits outside of the Salvi home run, so they did a very good job limiting a Royals team that is red hot right now, and I don't anticipate that carrying throughout the remainder of the series, unfortunately, which if it does, I will put my hand up yet again and be very happy to be wrong, but it's going to be a grind. Like, let's face it, it's going to be a grind to face a team that just won 7 games and you just ended their win streak, and this lineup that they're going against is too good to not, perform better in this series, so it's going to be tougher, but they did a very good job tonight. 0 for 6 for the Royals with runners in scoring position, leaving 6 on. It's beautiful, while the Mets were a nice 5 for 10, leaving 7 on. Again, it's just, this is the type of baseball that we need to see the Mets continue to play. So, very good game there for the Mets. Very positive signs going forward here as they beat the Braves in the series, and now they have a chance to win the series here against the Royals, which, are they going to do it, or are they going to do the thing like they did in 2022 where, they would win the first game, lose the second game, win the third game. That's all we saw 2022, but definitely a huge step in the right direction. Manaea versus Marsh tomorrow. I'm hoping they could win. I do apologize in advance, though, that I'm not probably going to have the best recap for tomorrow's game, just simply because of the fact that hockey's on, and right now, I'm sorry, but hockey gets the priority because of the fact that it's in the grind right now. It's in the grind. It's in the big part of the season for the Rangers, and they got to take care of business against the Islanders. And sorry, any Islander fans that may watch this channel, but it's the truth. But I could keep talking about this game for a very long time, but I am going to end it there because I'm in a very good mood about this. And then the next one, too, I'm in a good mood right now. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.